welcome back to another live stream. Today we are going to be diving into Star Wars Unlimited, specifically the Secrets of Power that is coming out very soon. We're going to build a pre-release deck from a pre-release kit, which is a sealed event where you're going to get 6 packs and then you're going to construct a 30 card deck out of those 6 packs. It's a limited format, so you don't necessarily have to spend all the money for all the meta cards and everything, which is one of my favorite ways to play. So we're going to be breaking that open, taking a look, hopefully pulling a showcase because that would be awesome. And then we also have the 2 spotlight decks that we are going to break open and take a look at and see exactly what cards are in there. We also have some cool new swag. I really like this damage pad that you put your base in and you can count damage on it. I think it's a really cool game-genic accessory. We'll dive in a little bit more to that once we go table down. But I think we're going to start with unboxing the spotlight decks. I think that's going to give us a little bit of an idea of what the set is all about. It is set in the not Twilight of the Republic, the Padme Clone Wars era type situation. So I think that's kind of the theme of the set. But breaking down these spotlight decks, we're going to get an idea of what is actually in the game introduced mechanic wise, which will help inform our decisions for the pre-release box and the pre-release build. So I think that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. I'm excited. I'm pretty pumped to just kind of jump right into it. And so I figured we should do just that. Alrighty, let's go table down and see what we got. Excellent. So this was sent to me by Fantasy Flight Games, and so I got a little bit of a pre-access to it, which is kind of fun. So we're going to break open, but first I'm going to talk about this mat. This play mat is absolutely stunning. The art in the game, I think, just continuously gets better and better. So this, I don't actually know what card this is, but this is from Rogue One, I believe, when he has the Death Star plans and he's kind of climbing to the top of the tower in, oh, what is that planet called? I should know that. I really should know that. Anyways, Andor. I think Cassian, top 5 Marvel champions. Geez, Star Wars Unlimited are top 5 Star Wars characters for me. I think Andor, one of the best moments in Rogue One. It's such an epic climax too. I love Rogue One. I love Andor. Second season of Andor is probably the best Star Wars content out there in my opinion. It's absolutely phenomenal, especially like the arc, the third and fourth arc through that season, which is I think 2 BBY and 1 BBY. Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. We went back and rewatched it pretty immediately. Scarif, yes, thank you, Brant. Yes, absolutely beautiful. Yes, on Scarif, and then we rewatched Rogue One, and that is a different experience after you've seen Andor. And you watch Rogue One, the story flows differently. It's a really cool viewing experience because the first time I ever watched Rogue One, I was viewing it through the eyes of Jyn Erso, which I think is the idea behind it. And then Cassian is kind of the other main character in that movie. After watching Andor, I view Cassian as that main character, and it showed the motivations behind the characters leading into Rogue One and then leading into A New Hope. And it just it tells this backstory of the struggle of, Andor and just different people in the universe. And it's so well done. If you have not watched Andor or Rogue One, please do. Anyways, I love this art. It's so beautiful. Seeing him steal those Death Star plans from the Scarif Tower. I don't know. I guess it's not a spoiler alert. The movie's been out for a while now. But the fact that Tarkin dies. No, not Tarkin. Krennic. The fact that Krennic dies from a super laser blast from the Death Star is just so poetic. Like, his ending is the thing that he created, and it's just kind of like this metaphor for fascism, right? Where it just kind of consumes, and then you get a lot more of that in the Andor series, which I will not talk about that because that is a little bit newer and a little bit easier, or a little bit. I don't feel like I can spoil that quite yet. Maybe in a couple of years, but really, really fantastic series and movie. But let's actually look at this damage pad first. Brant, have you seen have you played with any of these damage pads yet? Because that's cool. So the idea behind the damage pad, I probably should have opened a base first so that we could have actually like looked at it. Is your base will slot in here, and then you can count your health using this dial. So let's see if I can get that to focus. So we got like 23. This outer dial shuffles the ones digit, and then this inner dial right here will shuffle the tens digit. So you can like go down to 1. I think it goes all the way up to 49 would be my guess. Yep, goes all the way up to 49. And I don't think there's any bases that have 49, but maybe future proofing. That'd be kind of crazy. That'd be a good base, I think. There's a white and a black one. Very cool. Light side, dark side. Yeah. Well built. Got the Game Genic and Star Wars logos on the back. Come on, focus for me. There you go. Cool stuff. Sometimes they get a little stuck, but they make a nice frame. Gotcha. Yeah, I can feel that by the same token damage counter that I have, which is a pre-production copy, so they worked out a couple of the issues with that, but it also gets a little stuck. It's just one of those things that you go with, but this is cool. I like the fact that the base fits in there. Let's unbox something and then we can see this thing in action. Let's go Chancellor first. I also want to I think I'm going to do a video, or maybe just build it off stream. I think one of the main ways that I want to play this game going forward is the trilogy format, which is where you build the 3 decks, and you can only include a certain number of copies of each card across all 3 decks. But it's a little bit more of a legacy format, and I feel like with how much content this game puts out, it's kind of challenging sometimes to keep up with everything. And so I feel like that's going to be a way that I can find myself really enjoying the game. And then I have decks that can be used outside of the trilogy format because they're standard decks and everything like that. But I feel like I really want to dive deeper into the trilogy. Brant, have you done any trilogy stuff? Also, the Spotlight decks are designed to be slightly more competitive than the 2-player starter decks, which is what they used to be. They also contain a little booster pack, which is nice. All right, let's open this up. We've got Chancellor Palpatine. One of the other things to kind of consider when you're thinking about building a pre-release is that these leaders, both Palpatine as well as Amidala, will be available to you in the pre-release kit. So you'll have the 6 leaders that you open from your pack, but then also like a alternate art type not an alternate art, a hyperspace version. It may be hollow. It's been hollow in the past, maybe not. Version of these leaders, so these will actually be your 7th and 8th leaders that you have access to use in that pre-release build. We got Chancellor Palpatine. I'm going to bring it down here because I cannot read it. So as an action, you can exhaust Palpatine, spend a resource, search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card with the plot keyword, and reveal it. Plot is the new keyword from this set where you can play it from your resources, very similar to Smuggle, but when you deploy a leader, and then you'll replace that card with the top card of your deck. So I haven't played with plots at all. I'll be interested to see how it plays out, but it'll be interesting. Brant has not, but one of my local players started a Trilogy League on Fridays. That was wildly popular. That's awesome. That's awesome. He does have an epic action that if you deploy 7 resources, we got to get some control to make our way to 7 resources. We can deploy Palpatine, and then when deployed, the next card you play using plot costs 3 less. That's cool. Okay, so I was like, on a deploy of 7, he's, slower. You can see a lot of people running like 5, 4, like drop leaders, and so you're losing out on a leader action. But when deployed, yeah, okay, I can kind of see where the deck is going. When you deploy Palpatine, you get to play a plot card costing 3 less, and then potentially another plot card and just get a massive tempo boost right there. He is a 6/8, so he is nothing to sneeze at stat-wise. I am a little concerned about him deploying on 7, but we'll see. And then he is paired with a command base, so I think this would be kind of fun to ramp with Palp and then deploy. Emperor Palpatine from set 1 is one of my favorite leaders to run. Just mega control. But let's slide this guy in here. Yeah, so there you go. You would slide that in. And this is how that would look at the table. Then you would start with 30. That's pretty cool. I like that. I guess it would be 27. Alrighty. Chancellor Palpatine. We also got new spy tokens. Spy tokens are a new token type introduced in this set as well. They're 0 cost, 0/2 with raid 2, meaning that they get +2 attack when they are attacking. And so you got those spy tokens coming out. Very similar to like a clone trooper or X-Wing. We got Major Partagaz. 2 cost, 0/6 with overwhelm. That's hilarious. When another friendly official attacks, this unit gets +2/+2 for the phase. How interesting. Okay, so spies are official. It looks like we're going to have a lot of officials in the deck. So, and this is not a once per phase or once per round ability. This is whenever another friendly official unit attacks, he gets +2. So on the first one, he becomes a 2/8. Then he becomes a 4/10. Wild. Okay. Interesting. He is a 2-drop, so I feel like you can throw him out there like turn 1, and he's going to be around for a while. I mean, like the 6 is a lot of health for a turn 1 drop. You're not really attacking with him. It'll be interesting to see the ramp, to see if we can get, I don't know, maybe you play him later. That's interesting. Let's keep going. We got Chancellor Palpatine. Dude, Chancellor Palpatine looks like he is not having a good day. Looks like he ate some bad tacos or something for lunch. Oh yeah, he is not having fun. Palps drops on a 3. He's a 2/2. When played, if you control a leader unit, create 2 spy tokens and give both of those tokens Sentinel for this phase. He is also a plot. Okay, so plot meaning that in the resource, whenever you deploy a leader, you can play him from the resource row by paying its cost. Now, what's cool about the interaction here is that Chancellor Palpatine, when he deploys, and then you can discount the next card you play, which is going to be Palpatine here by 3. So you'll play him for free and then create 2 spy tokens and give them both Sentinel. So not only are you getting massive value here, you have Sentinel as well as I guess these would be exhausted, but just it protects your leader, which is kind of cool. Should have had the Jamaican food instead. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a fun interaction. And if you control a leader unit, so you probably will be playing him with plot. A 3/2/2 is just not a great stat line, so you really do want to be playing him with plot to get those spy tokens when you do that. We got Nuke Gunray. 3 cost, 3/4 with grit. I love grit. Grit means that you get +1 attack for each damage you have on you. When played and on attack, you may give another friendly official unit Sentinel for this phase. Cool. Yeah, we're just Palpatine is the control deck, it feels like. We're controlling and trying to build up to that 7 resources so that we can deploy and win the game and outlast the opponent. We got a lot of one ofs. Now these are the rare slots in the deck. Which is okay, but I feel like I would want to have 2x of some of these. I am kind of interested. Okay. Anyone out there who has played with the plot mechanic before, are you running multiple copies of plot cards? Like, it feels bad to draw 2 copies of Chancellor Palpatine because you want to resource them, but then you can't play both of them because they're unique. I guess if they're non-unique, you could play multiple versions of the plot card. That's interesting. But it feels real good to have them. I'd probably run 2 instead of 3. 3 feels like there's a higher likelihood of drawing into multiple copies, which feels bad. I mean, it's a resource regardless. It's like it doesn't have the plot, but still, flexibility is really, really important. Got Vice Admiral Rampart. It's a 4-drop, 3/6. All of these have been official traded, so any of the synergies that we have seen across the other units that deal with official, all of these will trigger. On attack, you may disclose. This is another new mechanic in this set, meaning that you reveal cards from your hand with the specified icon. So you can disclose a command villainy with the aspects among them. That could be like if you had the actual command card, that could be the 2 green. And then if you had a Palpatine or something with a villainy tag, you could reveal those cards from your hand and then get this ability. So this is an on-attack ability. If you do, give an experience token to each of up to 2 other units. So you can attack here, disclose those cards, giving the opponent a little bit of information, which is a trade-off, but then you get a +1/+1 for 2 other units. Interesting. Cool. I feel like the disclose mechanic will be interesting as well. Because there's a lot of times where I hold on to like tricks, not necessarily like the keyword trick, but tricks in my hand that I'm going to play and counteract. And so I would have to make sure that I'm not revealing those cards. Or that also like can determine what I'm resourcing, right? Because if I know that I have a Rampart on the field and I'm going to attack with him next turn, I may want to resource something so that I can maintain my ability to disclose this. Interesting. And then, of course, the tragedy of Dark Plagueis. Not a Tale of Jedi would tell you. 5 cost, choose a friendly unit for this phase. It cannot be defeated by having no remaining hit points. Very thematic there. And then an opponent chooses a unit they control, defeat that unit. Oof, we got we call it the Padme combo. That's interesting. 5-drop. The sad part here is that they choose a unit that they control. So like if they're running tokens, it's probably not worth playing. 5-drop feels like they're going to have a better board state built out versus like the Power of the Dark Side, which is another card. It's only a 3-drop, but it's a 3-drop where they choose a unit, and typically if you're able to play that early into turn 2, you're able to knock out their first play. And if you're running like a heavy control deck, that is kind of what you want to be doing, is kind of stalling them out in those early turns, especially if it's like a rush build, so that you can get all the way to resource turn 7, deploy Palpatine, etc. At 5, I guess if you've been doing your control job well, you could use units or your board state to take out the units that you don't want them to choose with the Tragedy of the Dark Plagueis. That could be effective. You could also, this does not say non-leader. So you could use this if you time it correctly with a leader. My guess is with plots, there's going to be some buffers, at least in this set, so that when you play whatever leader, there may be more options for the tragedy for them to choose. The first part of the card is interesting. Cannot be defeated by having no remaining hit points. I feel like that is also real. Okay, that can be really good on a Sentinel. You throw that out on a Sentinel, and that just stalls the turn. If they don't have Saboteur, if they don't have removal, that's kind of cool. Throw that on the what is the B2 attack platform, the 5/2. That seems fun. Am I gonna try Riftbound? Is that that's the new TCG? Is it World of Warcraft? I don't have any plans to. Have you tried it? Is it good? Up next, we have our first special card, meaning that you can only get it in this deck or as a hollow slot in a normal pack. This is the Corrupt Politician, a 1-drop 2/2. While you control more units than an opponent, this unit gains Sentinel. Nice. We got 3 copies of those. That's kind of interesting. It is Republic as well as official traded, which is nice. The 1-drop is interesting. We got more 1-drops in here, and so the deck as built could probably function fairly well. It also, oh, actually, this is kind of interesting because if you play this turn 1 and you don't have another turn 1 play, or maybe you Palpatine, you're probably losing initiative at that point. But it's if you play Corrupt Politician, maintain initiative, play a 3-drop Nuke Gunray or something on turn 2, they cannot swing in until they play a unit, because then that gives the Corrupt Politician Sentinel, which is cool. That's a fun play. Then they have to take out the Corrupt Politician. They can't swing to base. And again, this deck is all about stalling out so that you can reach the higher end of your cost curve, because you're assuming that they don't want to reach that higher end of the cost curve. Have not, it will be pre-released tomorrow. Oh, that's exciting. Was I correct in thinking that it was World of Warcraft, or was it League? Maybe League. I know it has a cool IP. Next up, we got the Hani Pilgrim. So this is a 1-drop, 1/3. When played, when defeated, heal 1 damage from your base. Interesting that it's a heal 1 damage on a 1-drop, which is fine. I mean, like, that could come in clutch. League, got it. Okay, cool. The one, like, there have been a lot of games I've played where it comes down to 1 health. So if you could just drop here and heal 1 damage, swing into something, take it out, or take your own unit out, heal another damage. This also works really well for Thrawn, where you can double up on that heal. And then the OP, the Sith Lord himself, Jar Jar Binks, a 2-cost command 2/1. When played, you may give another friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. And then plot, when you deploy a leader, you may play this card from your resources. Yep. I'm going to pull out all the plot cards, because I think that's going to give me a better idea of what the deploy turn looks like. So right now, this is what we have: Jar Jar as well as Palpatine. You deploy Palpatine. You can play Palpatine for free. Spend 2 of your 7 resources to play Jar Jar. You still have 5 left over. And so all of a sudden, you're looking at just a huge board state advantage, which is cool. Your LGS doesn't have many Star Wars players. It is an awesome game. It is a really cool game. That is sad that they don't have a lot of players. Got 3 copies of the Onyx Squadron Brute. When defeated, heal 2 damage from your base. We've seen this before. This is our first space unit in the deck. Then we got another special card. So we're going to get 3x of this. This is the Chancellor's Shuttle. It's a 2-cost, 1/3, restore 1. When defeated, if you control Chancellor Palpatine, you may give an experience token to a unit. That's cool. So if you have him as a leader, that does work. I'm going to move our booster pack over here. We'll break that open here in a sec. I am unfamiliar with this character. Where's this character from? Vaney? I'm not 100% sure. Imperial Sith official. 2 cost, 2/4. Decent stat line. When played on attack, you may defeat an experience token on a friendly unit. If you do, give an experience token to a friendly unit. That's kind of cool. My mind immediately goes to like Tarkin, where you can give out experience tokens to Imperial units, and then you can start, like, you can swing in with that unit, attack here, defeat that experience, drop it here, and then go 3 or 1 additional damage and just pass around those XP units. Flexibility seems pretty cool. ISB shuttle, 3 cost, 3/2. When played, if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, create a spy token. Cool. Those 0/2 raid 2. You got the political bully. 3 cost, 2/3. When played, if you control another official unit, you may deal 2 damage to a ground unit. That's mean. That's mean. And I'm pretty sure outside of the vehicles, everything except for our pilgrim here has the official tag. So very easy, at least in this pre-con, to hit that trigger condition there. Mass. Get a 4 cost, 3/4. When played, give an experience token to each up to 2 other official units. And then you can plot this card in. Very cool. Alrighty. So now we're looking at, on our deploy turn, if we only had these cards in our resource row, we could drop 6 of our 7 resources here to play all 3 of these cards. And then you play Moss last, so you give you probably would give a experience token to Palpatine. You could give one to this Palpatine. Jar Jar would give Palpatine a +2/+2. Holy cow. Okay, so whenever you play this Palp, you get the spy tokens with Sentinel. Moss gives a experience token to Palpatine, making him a 7/9. And then Jar Jar, when played, he gives another friendly unit +2/+2, making him a 9/11. And he's ready, and he can swing that turn. Okay. So if you make it to turn 7, you can have some intense. That's really cool. Now my mind is going back to the Kylo Ren from, I think it's the last set, where you can, whenever you deploy him, you can play attachments from your discard pile onto him by paying his cost. And the trick there is to use shoot first as the final attachment that you play. But if you have more plot cards, now I don't think he's official, so it wouldn't like work with necessarily some of these. But if you had plot cards that allowed him to buff up, play those events as well, and then swing in with a shoot first all in one turn, that seems pretty cool. We got Sly Moore. A 4-drop, 2/6. When played for this phase, each enemy unit gets -2, -0 while attacking a base, and this is also a plot card. A 4 for a 2/6 is a little sad, but it is a nice stall. We got Cad Bane. This is a special card. We get 3 copies of this. He is plot as well. When played, you may defeat a unit with 2 or less remaining hit points. He's a 5/4/5. Nice. Okay. Just adding to our plot tableau down here. Deidre. Fascinating character in the Andor series, for sure. Deidre is a 6-drop. She is a 5/5 with ambush, and then on attack create a spy token. So she comes in, she's allowed to ready and attack a enemy unit when she is played, and then as immediately she gets a spy token. So on a 6-drop, 5/5 feels similar to like a mercenary company with ambush. So it feels like the stat line works out. Official traded feels pretty good. Imperial traded feels pretty good. And you get the spy token. Decent. feel like she's gonna be a good limited card. Like if we open one of her in like the pre-release kit, she would be a really solid limited card. Dogmatic Shock Squad. 6-drop, 4/6 with Sentinel, and it is a plot card as well. Republic, Clone, and Trooper. Well, my Twin Suns deck with Nalase bringing in all the clones just got another new card, which is fun. I am the Senate. Holy cow. Okay, so a 6-drop, create 5 spy tokens. Beautiful. This is another special card. Wow. Okay. The interesting playline there is if you use that to create 5 spy tokens, and they all have raid 2, so that would be 10 damage if they all got to attack. If you are able to play that later into the phase, then deploy Palpatine, play Chancellor Palpatine, create the spy tokens, give them Sentinel, all your ready spy tokens then would be safe. They would have to go through 2 spy tokens that are exhausted by playing Palpatine before you can get hit with or they can hit the actual like ready spy tokens, which could give you enough time to kind of build and swing enough damage into the base. Feels like you're really looking to win on turn 7 on the deployed turn here, which if you go to turn 8, turn 9, that's real late into the game. Got the Cantwell Aggressor Cruiser. This is a 7-drop. 6/7. When played, you may disclose 2 vigilance as well as a villainy from your hand. If you do exhaust an enemy unit, that unit cannot ready while this unit is in play. That's mean. That's mean. Mean. I love it. Win has become now a 1-cost villainy. Play a card with plot from your resources, paying its cost. Put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. Okay, so you get access to some plot cards without actually needing to deploy a leader. That makes it better. So now I'm a little bit, I'm more okay running multiple copies of some of these unique plot cards, because then if I use Win has become now, I can play Chancellor Palpatine on resource turn 4. Then we're getting Palp, 2 spy tokens, they have Sentinel, and then you're fulfilling all your requirements of having more units for some of our other card synergies. It's a little sad that you only get 1 of these in the pre-con. Armor of Fortune. This is a 2-cost plot. Oh, it gives you a 0/3. Cool. Was there something that messes with like the swapping between health and power in the last set? I think there was something with the Purgle. Maybe it was like deal damage equal to the remaining health. That seems insane. Budget scheming. Give an official token. Give an experience token to each up to 3 official units. Cool. So that seems kind of good. It does require you to go wide, which has not been the strongest strategy in the past, but I think with tokens, maybe you have a better shot at doing that. We've got Unveiled Might. I love the art on this. This is really, really cool with the Mandalorian on it. 4-cost, plot 2, +2/+3. So deploy Palpatine. If you don't do any of these, this is a 1-drop for to take them up to a 8/11. That's so mean. I love it. Got Charged with Murder. What a sad scene. If you've watched the Clone Wars, this episode is just so sad when Ahsoka gets put on trial. So many things could have gone differently in the Star Wars universe if that had not happened. 4-cost, disclose 2 vigilance cards. If you may defeat a damaged non-leader unit. I don't love that card. I'm not the biggest fan of that card. I feel like you have like takedown. It may be better later in the game. I don't know. Then our last card is Retaliation. Defeat a unit that dealt damage to a base this phase. Not the big caveat here. Does not have to be non-leader. So 5-drop, defeat a leader unit if they attack your base. This is the anti-rush card. So you have Sabine come in. She attacks into the base. Spend 5 to Retaliation. Feels a little bad to take out Sabine that way. So maybe a different one. But could take out the Kylo that just got beat. Play the shoot first. Swing in for like 11. Retaliation and take out that 7-cost unit because he swung into the base. Cool. This is the style of deck that I really enjoy playing. I really enjoy playing the late mid-range to control style deck. And this feels like it gives a whole nother like way to do that with the plot mechanic. I like the Palpatine idea. I guess like these are other plot cards here. You got a decent number of plot cards to hit. I think I would probably stop using his ability once I had kind of my play for his deploy turn. So like if I drew into the squawk shot, the shock squad and Palpatine or Moss, you could probably not use his ability to go fishing for more plot cards. But all in all, I think it's a really interesting deck. I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I feel like the plot mechanic is more interesting than I was kind of thinking, mainly because I kind of, for whatever reason, always just envisioned playing one card with that plot. But if you are able to play like 3 or 4 and have them combo off of each other and just create like this massive tempo swing into, now I have an 11-13 Chancellor Palpatine that's about to swing with Sentinels protecting him. That's a really fun play. So that'll be cool. That'll be really fun. I think I'm going to clean this up. We're going to bust open our pack to see what we got. See if we got any cool cards in the pack that came with the Spotlight deck. Opening packs is so much fun. Create 5 spy tokens is hilarious. Then they turn around and play a Snoke or something and just take everything out. All right, what's in our pack? This is where we pulled the Prestige. I'm feeling it. Nope. We got Deidre. So Deidre feels like an aggro leader already. Being aggression, deploying on 4 feels very aggro. So Deidre is a action, spend 1, choose an enemy unit. Its controller may deal 2 damage to it if they do not draw a card. Brant and I were talking at MCDC this last week. It feels like card draw is not as strong in this game, mainly because you do have so much card acceleration, drawing 2 every round. So, I don't know. I feel like giving people a choice in a game typically is not super good. Deploys on 4. It's a 2/5. While you have more cards in hand than an opponent, this unit gains raid 2. Okay, so there's a little bit of synergy there. That's nice. So if you are drawing cards, then she becomes a 4/5 on a deploy 4, and that's a lot scarier. Got a red. We got another armored Gonk Power Droid. It's a 2-cost on attack. The next unit you play this phase costs 1 less. Dude, I love that actually. That's amazing. Lost Jedi, 1/3 with Grit. Outer Rim Constable, when played, you may defeat an upgrade. Oof. Xenaus Shadow Fighter. This is a 2/2 Hidden. Hidden was introduced, I believe, last set, where they cannot be attacked on the turn that they are played. We got an Assassin Probe, 5/4/4. When defeated, deal 1 damage to each exhausted enemy ground unit. Choose a player. That player discards a card from their hand. If it costs 3 or less, create a spy token. We got a 2-drop 2/4. When defeated, each opponent may ready a resource. Yikes. Alrighty. Crate Veteran. It's a 3/4/3. We got Disciple's Devotion, a 3 cost. While it is exhausted, it gains Sentinel, and it's a 1/3 bonus. That's kind of interesting. Soulless one. On attack, disclose 2 Cunning and a Villainy. If you do, ready 2 resources. Ooh, okay. So on attack. Oh, on attack. Okay. That timing is super weird. Because you have to play it on turn 2, play something on turn 3, then attack with it. If you play a like a Disciple's Devotion or something on it, if you play an attachment on it, that makes a lot of sense. Or a pilot. I feel like that's where it gets real good. We got the Valiant Commando. When this unit deals combat damage to a base, you may defeat this unit. If you do, deal 3 damage to the base. Ah, that's fun. And then we got Callus, but the good version of Callus. This is after he's turned. Get a 7-drop. While you have the initiative, each other friendly unique unit gains raid 2. And then when played, deal 2 damage to each up to 3 ground units. And then our holo card is a when played, create a spy token. It's a 2 cost 1/1. Interesting pack. Not the best pack I've ever seen. I do like Callus. I think Callus is kind of fun. While you have the initiative, I'm going to keep those separate. Let's see what Amidala's got. I'll be interested to see how they built this pair. If Amidala is a little bit more of a rush strategy, or if she actually also kind of wants to go a little bit long. They're both officials, so I feel like, you know, the bureaucracy of government is really slowing them down, and they want to use the big money for stuff. So thematically, it feels like officials want to go long. I would love it if they did that. That would actually be amazing. Six or more. Okay, so she does go a little bit longer. We got Miss Padme. Padme looks like a just absolute badass. Look at that. She is ready to go. When you reveal or discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 damage to a unit. If you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader. She deploys on 6 and she's a 3/8. Interesting. When you reveal or discard 1 or more cards from your hand, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. A 3/8 feels like a pretty low stat line for a deploy on 6. But I assume we're going to get a lot of discard synergy here. And no, Dr. Alpha's a villainy unit. I was going to say there would be some fun synergies in it, like a Twin Sun build with Padme and Dr. Alpha, where she's discarding cards from the top of your deck. But I'm like 100% sure that Alpha is villainy, and you can't pair them up. More spy tokens. We got a Seasoned Fleet Admiral. We've seen this card before. We know it. We love it. Actually, I don't know if we love it. 2 cost 1/4 raid 1. When an opponent draws 1 or more cards during the action phase, give an experience token to a unit. Interesting. Yeah. It feels like they're really starting to push this draw more cards thing. And I don't know. I haven't seen it. I also have not kept up with all the new cards coming out in this set. So potentially there is something there. It feels like there's going to be nothing until someone breaks it. Got a Naboo Royal Starship. 4-drop. 2/5. Each friendly leader unit gains raid 2 and overwhelm. And it is a plot card. Nice. So now Padme's coming in. She has raid 2 if you play this off the plot drop. That'd be okay. So she would be swinging in for 5. And then you have a 2/5. And overwhelm, which is kind of cool. Got Mon Mothma. Loved following her storyline in Andor. Thought that was fantastic. Mon Mothma is a 7-drop. She's a 5/8 restore 3. When played, you may attack with any number of other units, even if those units are exhausted. They can attack bases for this attack. That seems good. That seems really good. Dang. Alrighty. Well, that's fun. Imagine timely interventioning her. So Mon Mothma, you would have to pay 8 for her. But then she gets ambush. She comes in. She's able to attack for 5, restore 3, and then you can just use all of your exhausted units to just attack and take out all the other units. And maybe, I don't think you would necessarily have to make them exhausted. I feel like it is still really good value, even if they are not exhausted and you're attacking with them. It's a huge action economy thing. Got moral authority. You have to attach it to a unique unit. It goes a +2/+0. When played, attached unit captures an enemy non-leader unit with less remaining HP than it. There you go. Dismantle the conspiracy. 6 cost. A friendly unit captures any number of enemy non-leader units with a total of 7 or less remaining HP. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, you can just take their sentinels away. B2. 1 drop. 0/4 restore 1. It's moisture farmer again. On attack, disclose 2 heroism cards. If you do, give a unit sentinel for this phase. Love B2. Hey, we got another 3PO. 1 drop, 1/3 action. Return this unit to its owner's hand. Give a unit +2/+2 for the phase. Huh. That's interesting. You have to exhaust it, so it can't even like really attack. It's weird. First special card of the set. Furtive Handmaiden. It's a 1 drop 2/2. On attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw a card. Works really well with Padme because you discard that card, ping a damage, and it replaces itself. So that's cool. Got Bail Organa. Bail looks like he's ready to go to war here. 2 drop 2/4. On attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, create a spy token. A lot of interesting synergies on the discard, and I feel like that may help with the draw strategy that they are pushing. Feels like the drawing cards is a aggression thing that I've seen, at least historically in other sets. And so maybe you go aggression cunning with Padme. You can draw cards, discard cards, and you get a ton of like benefits whenever you are discarding those cards. Could be interesting. The Bravo Squadron Fighter. 2 drop 2/3 with Saboteur. That feels good. We got another Jar Jar. I love the fact that Jar Jar is in both of these decks. That makes me really, really happy. So Jar Jar, when played, you may give another friendly unit +2/+2, and it has plot as well. It's a 2 drop. So you drop Padme, play. What was our other plot card that we saw? Oh, the Royal Starship. We get Raid 2 on the drop. And then we play Jar Jar. So now we're up to a 7 attack whenever we swing it with Padme. Yeah, it feels like the plot just has a lot of keywords and abilities that really buff up other units, specifically like a leader unit, for them to have just an incredible swing in. I wonder if we will still have the issue of later leaders not necessarily performing as well as like the quicker leaders. Curious if anyone's played around with that. We got Mina. A 2 drop. 2/4 restore 1. When defeated, I can disclose a command heroism to draw a card. Okay. She's a Separatist and official. Got the N1 Starfighter, 2 drop 2/3. Ooh, Ahsoka Tano. Hey! Thank you for the subscription. Have I been saying your name wrong my entire life, Shibi? I think Brant pronounced it differently on the live stream that I did with him, and I was like, wait a second. I think I've been pronouncing that name wrong my entire life, which is a common theme for me. I don't pronounce names very effectively. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Shubby. Cool. Alrighty. I apologize for that. Thank you for helping me with it. Ahsoka is probably my second favorite character in Star Wars. I think my first favorite, also known as my favorite, is Anakin. I really like Anakin in the storyline. No pause. Should be. Okay. I appreciate it. But I love Ahsoka as a character, and so having more cards with her just makes me happy. 3 drop 2/5, which is a decent stat line. When this unit completes an attack and survives, disclose a command heroism. If you do attack with another unit. That's cool. That's real cool. Oh, speaking of the devil, maybe literally, Anakin Skywalker, a 3 drop 3/4 hidden, meaning that it cannot be attacked on the turn that it is played, and while you control Padme as a leader or unit, it gains raid 2. Wow. Okay, so this is a 3 drop, effectively 5/4 in this deck on attack. That's cool. I love the Anakin Ahsoka relationship. It's so good. Jade type Starship. When played, draw a card. When defeated, discard a card from your hand. That's really okay. So that's a really fun card for Padme because you get to draw the card. You get the additional cards to look at to find the perfect solution for what you're looking for. But then Padme, when this is defeated, you get to ping a damage to a unit. That's cool. That's fun. I like it when cards that I probably would not play. This may see some play outside of Padme, but I wouldn't like gravitate towards this card just for all of my Cunning Heroism decks. But with Padme, it feels real good. That's fun. Get the Thailander Shuttle. 3 drop 2/4 on attack. If you have the initiative, create a spy token. Captain Typho. He's a 4. He's a Sentinel. And he's a 4/5. When this unit is attacked, you can disclose a command heroism. If you do, heal a damage from your base. And most likely he is going to be attacked because he's got Sentinel. Unless they're running a ton of Saboteur and or removal. Now what's kind of interesting is you can 3PO, exhaust, give a unit +2/+2, making Typho a 6/7, and then when he's attacked, you deploy 3PO because they know he's in your hand. So that is a way to kind of get around like disclosing information that the opponent doesn't know. So exhaust here, give Typho the bonus, and then when he's attacked, I do close the card that they already know. And so that's a cool way to have the disclosure for Ahsoka as well. Okay, 3PO feels a little bit better than I was giving him credit for the disclose mechanic. Because if you don't have the resource icons to disclose, 3PO can help you fulfill that, especially in this deck where all of the disclosure cards so far, except for B2, have been either fully or partially fulfilled by the 3PO in your hand. That's cool. Clone Wars is such a great... It's so good. I like a lot of what it did in characters, flesh out motives, um, flesh out movies that were a little disappointing at times. 1,000% agree. The Clone Wars is, I think, behind Andor, my favorite Star Wars media, which it's hard to compare across all the media that they have. Clone Wars fleshed out the prequels so well. The story that they tell in Clone Wars, they did such an amazing job making all of the decisions feel like I could understand the rationale behind like Anakin's and the Jedi's decisions that felt kind of like, why would you ever do that when I had only seen the movies? The Clone Wars helped me get into the psyche of some of the main characters and understand why they were making very, very poor decisions, which led to Revenge of the Sith. And so I'm getting chill bumps just thinking about Clone Wars. Oh, jeez. Jabba and Leia will be my go-to limited format leaders, but for constructed, I'm excited to build out Bail. Ooh. I have done I'm going to call it a good job avoiding spoilers, but that's just not the case. I just haven't had a ton of time to look at all the new stuff coming out. But Jabba and Leia go to limited format. I don't know anything about those leaders, so I'm excited to learn more about them. Read Darth Plagueis novel. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. I haven't started it yet. I don't remember what it's called. It's the Rey novel. It's Rey's backstory. I have not started that one yet, but I got that right after we did the rewatch of Andor and Rogue One, just because I wanted the Andor equivalent for Rey. Got the Star Skiff. While you control an official unit, gains Restore 2. Seems pretty easy to do in this set. I do feel like I should go back and read more of the books. I'd mainly read the really old Han Solo trilogy and the original movie novelizations. I've read very few Star Wars novels. I read some of the High Republic series when that was initially coming out. And then I've heard really good things about the Thrawn books. I've read, I think, the first two of there are two Thrawn series, and I never remember which one I read. I could tell you if I saw the covers. Stinger Mantis, when played, you may deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. Nice. We got Hunter. Bad Batch was a vibe. Hunter, 6 cost 7/6. Saboteur on attack. If the defender is exhausted, it gets -4, -0 for the attack. Gross. We got the Naboo Security Force. When played and when defeated, you may disclose a command. If you do, give a friendly unit Sentinel for this phase. Okay. Alrighty. Kelleran Beck. 7. Is the 777? Okay, what's his deal with 7? What's the lore that I'm missing that he has a lot to deal with 7? So 777. Search the top 7 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and play it, and they cost 3 less. That's on a win played. I'm going through the Heir to the Empire series where Thrawn was originally introduced. It's very good. Nice. I don't think I read that one. I think I read the other one, which is that like Thrawn Ascendancy or something like that? Thrawn's a really fascinating character. We got Dogfight. Attack with the unit, even if it's exhausted, it cannot attack bases. Feels real good if you have Overwhelm. That feels good for the Maul. Was it set 2 or set 3 Maul, where when he is deployed, he gives all of his units Overwhelm? That could be good. Sneaking Suspicion. This is a plot. It's a 1/1. Very vanilla card. Bog Down in Procedure. This is a 3-cost exhaust a unit. I can disclose a Cunning card if I do exhaust another unit. Okay, that feels good. That feels really solid, actually. Huh. Yeah, just slow them down. And then you have a ton of things that synergize with, like, when play, deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. That's probably out of, like, resource, like, limitations. You're on resource turn 8. There's probably better things you can do on resource turn 8. But that feels good. Then we got With Thunderous Applause. This is how democracy dies. It's a 3-cost command. Give a unit +2/+2 for the phase. You can disclose. If you do, give another unit +2/+2. That's cool. Interesting deck. This, I think, out of the two, I would probably prefer Palp's deck. That just feels a little bit more along my preferred playstyle. But, yeah, that's cool. Agreed. If anyone has not read Heir to the Empire, it's a must-read trilogy. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I counted. I realized that I'm in the middle of like 7 books right now. That may be an exaggeration. I think it's actually 5. But I'm just like, I need to just pick some and like finish it. I'm going to go turn up my mic a little bit because I think my mic is a little low. Okay, maybe that's a little bit louder. Okay. But yeah, I think out of the two, I prefer Palpatine's deck. But let's see what we got in our pack, because that could change everything. If we get like a showcase or a legendary, I may like Padme's deck a little bit more. Because that's how it goes, right? Padme. The art on Padme looks so good. I'm halfway through the 3rd book. The audiobooks on Audible are very well done with sound production. Oh, they have SFX? That's cool. Huh. Got Secrets of Power. We got Slymore. It's an action. We can spend a resource exhaust. If there are 4 or more exhausted units in play, create a spy token. Interesting. Deploys on 5. He's a 3/6. On attack, deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. That feels good. I've read a bunch of other Timothy Zahn books. Not sure why I never got to the Thrawn stuff. Got a nice... Oh, look at the experience token. That's fun. Luthen. Hyperspace. Got Senator's Aid. If you have the initiative, this unit gets +2/+0. It's a 1-drop on a 0/3. Nimble Prowess. Attached to a friendly unit. When played, you may exhaust a unit in the attached unit's arena. It's a 1/1. Give an experience token to each up to 3 official units. Lone Shark. It's a 4-drop. 2/5 raid 1 with ambush. Fun little guy. The Crate Veteran, 3-drop, 4/3. Unauthorized Investigation, 3-drop, create a spy token. Disclose a aggression card from our hand. If you do, create another spy token. Lurking Snub Fighter, when played, you may exhaust a unit, and you can play this on a plot. Oh, Sly and Lurking Snub Fighter are a fan. Because you deploy Sly, plot out the snub fighter, exhausted unit, swing in, deal 2 damage to the newly exhausted unit. That's some fun little trickery going on. Inspector Shuttle. When played, name a card. Then an opponent reveals their hand. For each copy of the name card in their hand, give an experience token to this unit. That is way bigger brain than I have. Got a 4-drop 5/3 hidden. Okay. So that cannot be attacked on the turn it's played. We've got a Lobot. It's a 2/04 Sentinel with grit. Interesting. Kazuda! I really enjoyed the Kazuda deck that I played when he was a leader. 4-drop, 2/6, raid 2. While you control fewer resources than an opponent, it gets +2/+0. Alrighty, that's fun. That's real fun. Renowned Dignitaries. It's a 5-drop, 5/6 with Overwhelm. When played, heal 2 damage from your base for each friendly official unit. Oh, jeez. Grand Moff Tarkin. Dun dun dun. 6-drop, 2/6. Very sad stat line for the cost. When played, take control of an enemy non-leader vehicle unit. When this unit leaves play, that unit's owner takes control of that unit. Seems good. Seems real good. And then we got a hyper... Oh my gosh, look at this. This is a hyperfoil legendary card. This is almost as rare as a showcase. I think this is like 1 in 200-ish packs. So that's a fun draw right there. I think I like the Padme deck a little bit more than I like the Palp deck now. Let me find a sleeve for this guy. It's a 7 cost, 5/9. If damage would be dealt to another friendly unit, prevents 1 of that damage. If damage would be dealt to this unit by another card, deal that much damage +1 instead. It also has a plot. I'm going to find me a sleeve for this guy. Because I don't think I've ever actually pulled a hyper foil legendary card out of a normal pack before. And I've opened a lot of packs. I pulled it out of a Carbonite pack, but not out of one of these guys. Well, that makes me a happy boy. Nice. Cool. Fun stuff. I feel like I've taken like a little bit of a break. Thank you. I feel like I've taken a little bit of a break, as in like a couple of, maybe a month or so off of the game. Just opening these cards, I'm like, this is a really fun game. I really enjoy SWU. I love the limited format a lot. I think with the constructed format, I get really competitive and I have a hard time enjoying things if I'm not putting my entire being behind it. It's just how I live life, which I understand is probably not the best way to do it. But I feel like if I'm not doing everything I possibly can, then why is it we're doing it? And it's just something I need to get over and just get back into SWU, because it is so much fun. And I feel like a limited format is a decent way to do that. Being able to not necessarily keep up on the entirety of the meta, but just like go in and play sealed events or draft events. Those are a lot of fun. I bought a ton of Twilight of the Republic booster boxes because they dropped in price like crazy. They were down to like, I think I got them for $40 maybe. But they're just a really fun limited set. And so I bought a ton of those boxes just so I could bring along and play at like PAX or something. I'll probably play some limited stuff at PAX. I did that last year. I enjoyed that a lot. So I'll probably do that again this year. Speaking of Secrets of Power. So what we're going to do is we are going to crack open this pre-release box and build a deck as if we were actually at a pre-release event. So there's going to be 6 packs in here. We're going to construct a 30-card deck. Out of the 6 packs, plus the 2 leaders, we're going to have access to Chancellor Palpatine as well as Padme Amidala. So the way that I like to do this, I like to open up the packs. I like to see my leaders, and then I will sort the different cards based on the aspects, and then kind of get an idea of where I can start building the deck. Because if I have like 3 cunning cards, I'm probably not running cunning, because you do have to build a 30-card deck, and I don't want to pay off aspect penalties for it. That's how I have always approached them. The other things that I'm looking for, removal, very good in a limited format. Higher health, things that can stick around for a while, pretty good. Anything that requires like synergy between multiple units is a little bit tough to run. The nice thing about sealed is that you can kind of see all the cards that you have access to see if you can start to combo off some of that stuff. So if you have a lot of officials, maybe you can start to play some of those official cards. You can also do that pretty well in draft format, assuming that not everyone is going that strategy and taking all the cards away. But yeah, I'll be interested to kind of see what we come up with. Let's go top down and break this guy open. So this is the box that will be handed out to everybody. You get your 6 packs. We got a Jabba. We got Jabba. We got a lot of Jabba. We got Padme. We got more Jabba, and we got 1 Cassian. Alrighty, so if nothing else, feels like we should run Villainy. You got damage token counters, so if you don't have damage counters, you can use the ones in here. Got a not a super nice deck box, but it is a deck box that is usable. And then in here is going to be your promo versions of the Spotlight deck leaders. I kind of hope they didn't go hollow. I don't love the hollow. Yeah, okay, they didn't. Nice. So it's just, and I say that in a good way, hyperspace versions of the leaders. I believe this is the only way you can actually get the hyperspace versions of the leaders, is to grab them from this pre-release kit. In a pre-release, these leaders are usable. So we're going to put these out here and keep them out as a potential leader choice. Then we start opening. We got Leia. Alrighty, so this is one of Brant's choices. Oh, it's old. It's New Republic Leia. Nice. So Leia Organa. She is as an action, we can spend a resource and exhaust to disclose any aspect other than villainy. If you do, give an experience token to a unit that doesn't share an aspect with the disclosed card. Interesting. Okay. If you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader. She deploys on a 6. She becomes a 4/7. Same ability on an attack. Plus she's hyperspace, which makes me like the thought of using her. When you are playing in a pre-constructed format like this, or a pre-release format, not pre-constructed, you have access to all the bases, all the common bases. So even if you don't pull a blue base, you can use a blue base. Knowledge and defense, -2/-2, draw a card. That feels good. Ambush is good. When you play this unit, it may attack an enemy unit. It does also have plot. I'm going to sort these by aspect. So I'll probably do, this is what I'll probably do. I'll just do it the exact same way that I would do it in a actual pre-release. I would sort in the 6 aspects, and then like this would be the heroism row, this would be the villainy row, the non-heroism, non-villainy row. So it kind of gives me an idea of what all I have access to. Attach a friendly unit. When played, you may exhaust a unit in the attached unit's arena. That seems good. Regulations bureaucrat. Exhaust a resource. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. When played, if you control a damaged unit, you may deal 2 damage to an enemy unit. 5/4 on a 4-drop. Unruly astromech. Nice. It's a 3. Is that supposed to be Chopper? Three cost, hidden, 3/2. When defeated, exhaust an enemy unit. Hey, Viper probe droids are back. 1 cost, 2/2 hidden. Charged with corruption. You may disclose 2 command icons. If you do, a friendly unit captures an enemy non-leader unit. That seems good. Lobot, we've seen him. Sentinel and Grit. Veil, Raid 2. Each exhausted enemy unit gets -2/-0 while defending. Then our rare slot is Topple the Topple the Summit. Deal 3 damage to each damaged unit. This is a plot card. And then we got the ASP Laborer Restore 1. So initially, right off the first pet, I'm looking at Leia Green. Feels pretty good here. Yeah, I'm liking the Leia Green. We've got Removal-esque. We've got Sentinel, Green. We've got Ambush, which are things that I'm typically looking for. Let's open a Java pack. Also, because I'm the way I am, speaking of hyperspace, opening hyperspace cards makes me want to play them. We got C3PO as a action. We can spend a resource if you control an exhausted unit, exhaust a unit. Deploys on 4. On attack, if you control another exhausted unit, you may exhaust a unit, and it's a 1/6. Ferrix Uprising, deal damage to a unit equal to twice the number of units you control in its arena. This is our second villainy card that we've opened, which is kind of crazy. 2 cost 2/4. ISB Shuttle. When played, if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, create a spy token. Rotunda Senate Guard. While this unit is undamaged against Sentinel. Sudden Ferocity. 3 cost with a plot. Comes in with +3 power. Attack with the unit. The defender gets -4, -0 for the attack. When defeated, deal 1 damage to each exhausted enemy ground unit. Contraband Starhopper. 2 cost 2/3. ISB Agent. When played, you may reveal a event from your hand. If you do, deal 1 damage to a unit. We got Bail. On attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, create a spy token. If you've dealt damage to an enemy base this phase, deal 2 damage to each enemy space unit. Ooh. That's annoying to know that that's in there. Ready a unit that was played this phase. If it costs 3 or less, create a spy token. Not a bad limited card. Ooh, it's a legendary. Look at that. That's exciting. Got another legendary. Darth Scion, 5-drop, 5/5. When played, give an experience token to this unit for each enemy unit that was defeated this phase. Oh, that's cool. If this unit has 7 or more power, when defeated, if this unit has 7 or more power, return them to his enemies or to its owner's hand. That's nifty. That's real nifty. Then, just like that, we've got our beautiful Hyperfoil. 6 cost, 6/6 with Sentinel. I feel like Darth Scion is really fascinating. That being said, I still, after pack 2, I'm leaning Leia. Blue-green. I still think it's going to be I'm leaning the blue-green. Especially with this. I mean, like, this is a nice slowdown for the Leia deploy turn. Comes in with 6/6 Sentinel. It is a space unit, which is a little, doesn't protect the ground. You know, she also kind of wants to go with non-hero. I don't even know. It seems fun. It seems like a fun puzzle to understand exactly what you want to be resourcing with her and holding onto your hand so that you can trigger her ability. Let's open the Mon pack. Hey, here's Jabba. I got the 2 cards, the 2 leaders that Brant's hoping to run in a limited format. Jabba, which is a Vigilance Villainy, which works well with the legendary that we pulled. Spend a resource and exhaust a friendly damaged unit, deals 1 damage to an enemy unit. If the friendly unit has 3 or more damage on it, it deals 2 damage instead. Okay. If you deploy 5, he deploys on a 2/8. When another friendly unit is dealt damage and survives, you may have that unit deal that much damage to an enemy unit. Use this ability only once per round. That's interesting. Yeah, it feels like a decent limited card. Scour the archives. Search the top 8 cards of your deck for an upgrade, reveal it, and draw it. Droid Commando, 3/4 Overwhelm. Another Jade Squadron Patrol. Gonk Power Droid. That having the Gonk makes it feel decent. That feels like a decent combo to run with Leia to get that acceleration, that ramp. Republic War Walker, 6 with a 7/6 Overwhelm. Exhaust a resource again. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, that's so annoying. Attached unit gains on attack. You may pay 2. If you do, deal 2 damage to a base. Becomes a 1/1. Let's call it war. Deal 3 damage to a unit. Then if you have the initiative, you may deal 2 damage to another unit in the same arena. That feels like a really solid limited card. Feels like a really solid limited card. Bravo Squadron Fighter, 2/3 Saboteur. Her first Heroism Cunning unit. Ready unit that was played. Cost 3 or less. Yep. Crosshair. On attack, you may deal 1 damage to another friendly unit. If you do, deal 2 damage to the defending player's base. Interesting. We're getting a lot of big blue units, which makes me feel like we should run into that space. Coronet. 5-drop, 4/6, restore 1. Each other friendly unit gains restore 1. It's going to be real hard to pull out of the blue at that point. I feel like it just, yeah. Restore is also really strong in limited, I think. Condemn. We've got 3-drop. While the attached unit is attacking, it gains on attack. Defending player may disclose blue-black. If they do, this unit gets -6 for this attack and loses all other abilities. Oh, so you put this on one of their units. Sick. Sick. And then we got another hyper foil. This pre-release box is hitting. So this is a 2/2. When defeated, you may disclose blue. If you do, give an experience token to a unit. That feels like a decent card to throw into a Leia deck. Governor Price. It's an action we can spend 1, exhaust, or ready a token unit. I've seen very little token generation in the cards that we have pulled so far. This is also a rare leader. And I feel like rare leaders are, in this game, more geared towards interesting synergies among cards rather than strength. And so having a rare leader here makes it a little bit harder to run in a limited format because you may not have access to the cards that really make the rare leader shine. I haven't seen too much token generation. There's been a little bit, but probably not going to be our choice. Then on a deploy of 6, he's a 4/6, gives +1 for each ready friendly token units, and then on attack, create a spy token. That actually seems like a really fun leader to run, though. Got the Imperial Dark Trooper. We got the Death Trooper. Unveiled Might. This is a plot card. We need to pull, and it's a +2/+3. Okay. Armor of Fortune. It's a plot 0/3. Ooh, that's a fun. Deploy Leia on 6, then play Leia so that now she becomes a 6/13. Seems good. 6/13 seems like a real big unit to try and take out. Duchess's Investigation. Disclose Cunning. Each opponent discards a random card from their hand. I hate it so much. Viper Probe. Hunting Assassin Droid. While an enemy unit is damaged, it gains Raid 2. Sneaking Suspicion. Plot. +1/+1. Clandestine Connection. 2 damage to a base. For each friendly official unit, exhaust an enemy unit. Got Hera. Charged with Treason. Disclose 2 aggression unit or icons. Deal 5 damage to a unit. Ew. Return a unit from your discard pile to your hand. Create 2 spy tokens. Seems good. Special modifications attached to a vehicle unit. When played, the attached unit is a transport. Create a spy token. Then another rare Grand Moff Tarkin, which is take control of an enemy non-leader vehicle unit. When this unit leaves play, takes control of that unit. That feels good in limited. Being able to have a swing, like a change of heart swing, where you get to take over one of their units, seems good. Seems real good. I don't even know. Apparently, maybe Palpatine. Pair that with, go blue, yellow, Palpatine. We've got some plot cards. That could work. But I still feel like the blue heroism route, probably with green so far, is the route that I'm leaning. Got to slide more. There are 4 more exhausted units in play. Create a spy token. Budget scheming. Give an experience token to each up to 3 official units. Congress of Malastare. The first upgrade you play each phase costs 1 less. That could be interesting with the plot cards that we've drawn in the potential aspects that we're going into, because then we could plot in maybe one other card, or have a resource to use Leia's ability first, then deploy, then plot the armor and whatever the other card was. Senator's Aid. While you have the initiative, it gets a +2/+0. It's a 1-drop. A-Wing. 1-drop. Raid 1. When defeated, the next official unit you play this phase costs 1 less. The Inspiring Senator. That's on when defeated. You may defeat an upgrade on an Outer Ring Constable. Lone Shark. Ambush Raid 1. I do like the ambush on that. High Command Counselor. It's a trap. 1/4. While you control another official unit, it gains Raid 2. It's our first only heroism card. That's kind of fun. Strike Force X-Wing. When played, you may deal 2 damage to a ready unit. It does have plot. Kazuda. Renowned Dignitaries. Overwhelm. It's a 6/5/6. When played, heal 2 damage from your base for each friendly official unit. Yeah, seems good. Seems like we've got healing, and we've got a lot. Feels like a decent amount of synergy within this. Also, random side tangent. I really want to build a Leia, Hera. I want to build a Leia Hera deck, Twin Suns deck, because with Hera you can break aspect penalties for Spectre units, and so with Leia being able to disclose any number of the cards, Leia just feels like a good Twin Suns leader, because you're gonna have just so many more aspects to have access to, and you can disclose those cards to pass out the XP card or XP. That's cool. Also, if you wanted to, it does not have to be a friendly unit that you give the XP to. So you could go really heavy into politics. And I don't know why I said it like that. You go really heavy into politics and pass out a XP to somebody else if they take out a unit or something like that. Got a 6-drop, 7/3. The first time this unit would take damage each phase, prevent that damage. That's a fun little card. Also, these are supposed to be up here. First Light. Ambush. When this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may draw a card, and it does have plot. That makes it really interesting for Palpatine. I feel like we haven't gotten a ton of great green cards, but we got Darth Scion. Like our ramp from 5 to 7, if we run like a Palpatine, could be really good. This Ambush would come in at a 4 using Palpatine's ability, which seems good. That seems like a good limited card. Then our holo is Emissaries from Ryloth. When played, give a unit -3/-0 for the phase. Interesting. So I think so far, Jabba's also interesting with the damage. I think I really like either a Palpatine or a Leia build at this point. Like, we've gotten a decent number of just straight blue cards, and then we have some really good blue white as well as blue black cards. Also, blue green is just my style. I find myself gravitating towards like a vigilance command synergy for pretty much every single deck I build. That's just what I like. Hey, we got another Leia with thunderous applause. There you go. Give a unit +2/+2. You may disclose a green card to give another +2/+2. Seems good. Give it a unit -2/-2. Draw a card. Senator's Aid. Nimble Prowess. A-Wing. Political Bully. If you control another official unit, deal 2 damage to a ground unit. Reckless Rebel. 1 cost Saboteur. Create 2 spy tokens on when played. FN Trooper Corps. 5/4/5. It is a plot. When played, give an experience token to another friendly unit. Hundo. Each other friendly unit gains raid 1. Does have plot. Populous Advisor. 1 cost 1/4. When an enemy unit deals combat damage to your base, this unit gains Sentinel for the phase. Okay, that seems good. Got a Jar Jar. Got a Blue Ace. The Blue Ace is on ambush, ready and exhausted. On attack, ready and exhausted enemy unit. I guess you can ready the unit you are attacking. A 4-drop 4/5 is a decent stat line. And another Hyperfoil. Holy cow, look at this. This is a banger box. Warrior of Clan Ordo. It's a 2-drop 3/3. On attack, disclose a red card if you don't deal 2 damage to your base. Okay. Just going to thumb through here. Hondo feels decent. What was the other card that felt really good in red for limited? Let's call it War. 3 damage to the unit. Then if you have the initiative, deal 2 damage to another unit in the same arena. That feels good. I don't know if it's worth running into red. Red would be our second aspect. I'm not going to run price. So I think we'll table red. I'm just looking through because I'm pretty sure we're going to land in blue-green. And so I'm just looking through just to make sure I didn't overlook any synergies in yellow. This is kind of what I would do at the table at the pre-release. Exhausting resources is so annoying. I think we're probably going to stay out of yellow. Grandma Tarkin is really solid in yellow. Stealing units is good. But yeah. Alrighty. A friendly damage unit deals 1 damage to an enemy unit. If there's 3 or more damage, deals 2 damage instead. Just trying to... I think regardless we're going blue. I think we're going blue-green. And so I think the choice becomes which do we like, villainy or heroism when it comes to these stacks. So Death Trooper and Jabba combo really well together. 2 damage to a ground unit, 2 damage to an enemy ground unit. Darth Scion feels good. Condemn is good. 2/4 with Force. That is versus Sentinel, Restore. All of their friendly units gain Restore. And 2 other Sentinels. Feels good. Feels really good. If you do, give an experience token to a unit that doesn't share an aspect with the Disclose card. If we're running Leia, you kind of want to lean heavy into the non-heroism side of things so that you can disclose a heroism card and then get the experience token to like the more flexible unit that doesn't have heroism. In green, we have First Light, the Imperial Dark Trooper, and the ISB Shuttle. First Light feels really good, and that is versus Overwhelm and Heal. I feel like we just have so much base healing in this pack. Pull units back and create spy tokens. We have an ambush plot. To me, it feels like we're running heroism, just comparing these two. So we're going to set these aside. When played, if you control a damage unit, you may deal 2 damage to an enemy. While you control another official unit, it gains Raid 2. The High Command Counselor. Alrighty. And I think we kind of want to avoid the aspect list cards if we are running Leia. So I think we'll slot those in. Again, we're building a 30 card deck. And so that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So a lot of the times when you're playing a limited format, you can just count up the cards that you have among the aspects, and that is going to be your deck. Now, you can play off aspect. You absolutely can. And with Leia, it may actually be worth taking a look at that because of her ability. So you can disclose like a red card and give out experience tokens to everybody else. That's kind of interesting. But I think this would be our initial deck. You have the initiative. We have official units, disclose green cards, and it does feel like we have about half and half, which is kind of where you want Leia to be. And you want to make sure that you have the opposite of what you are hoping to experience at the table. With Thunderous Applause feels good. Unveiled Might. And I also, when I'm doing this, I want to make sure that I have at least a decent opening for the first couple of turns. And so that would be, we have 2, 4, 5, 6. I assume 6. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. We have 8-ish turn 1 plays, which feels good out of a 30 card deck. You really don't want to fall behind. And then what I like about this is we can keep our costs slightly lower. And so like if we, on turn 1, we play Senator's Aid, we Leia, and we buff her. So now she's a 1/4. On turn 2, we play Jar Jar. We probably wouldn't play Jar Jar just because he's a plot card. We play Gonk, And then we still have a resource so that we can disclose another blue card and power Gonk Droid or power the aid back. So it feels like we can run almost like a resource behind the curve because we have the experience. You do this a lot with like not Tarkin. Is it? It is Tarkin. Yeah, it is Tarkin. Yeah, Tarkin, who gives the experience out to the Imperials. That feels good. And then our top end of the curve tops out at 6. We have Sentinels to stop everything. We have Restore, so this would be our turn 5 play. This would probably be our turn 7 play because we would want to plot out some of the cards that we would drop whenever we have whenever we play Leia. We have a lot of options for plot actually because we have the Commando with Ambush, which feels good. We have Jar Jar to give another friendly unit +2/+2, which could be the Leia. We have Armor of Fortune. So based on what we draw, I thought we had one more plot card. Huzzah. Probably in here. Oh, yeah, the Unveiled Might. Yeah, so I think like this all feels like a fun plot turn. And then just, I mean, like you could Armor of Fortune your Lobot, right? That feels like a fun combo actually. Giving Lobot 3 more. And then with Grit. So we have plays off of the plot turn because we don't have a perfect 6 plot, which is fine. Does her ability cost a resource? It does not. But what we could do on our deploy turn, she deploys on 6. Actually, we do have perfect deploy here. Yeah, just kidding. We do have perfect deploy. So this 4 and a 2 would be our plot cards. Or if we plotted our ambush card, we could plot this, ambush in, and then just trigger her ability before we play this to buff up somebody else, then swing in. Also with the Gonk Droid, we have some ramp. I like the deck a lot. Let's take a look and see each other. While you control another official unit against raid 2, if you control a damaged unit, you may deal 2 damage to an enemy unit. Those feel okay to put in. I do want to just take a look and see if there's anything in here. Probably don't want that. Probably don't want that. I would want something that is okay to play off aspect. So like an Outer Rim Constable would cost us 4, but it would also be okay to just hold in Leia so that I can boost somebody up. I think it's a high bar to find something like this, but just might as well look. This could be it. 4 for defeating an upgrade could be good. Charge with treason, no. Crosshair. Let's call it War. Feels like a decent disclose card. Probably not. Let's see if there's any. And I'm not going to grab. I doubt I would grab a white card. And I wouldn't grab a black card. A-Wing. Lone Shark. Nah. Doesn't feel like there's really a great. Actually, I think this was my other pack. This isn't even part of my decision process. I think the only thing that I could see us dropping in is the Heroic Arc 170. My concern is we don't have a ton of space units. We have 1 space unit, 2, 3. So like our space unit is really low actually. So we have very, very little space units. Which, just looking through, it does feel like space is underrepresented in this set of the cards that I've drawn. So it may not have a huge space presence. Yellow seems like it has a decent bit of space, and that may just be the cards that I've drawn. But I think I would want to probably drop this guy in here, just so that we could have a space card that we could play before turn 5, which would be on turn 4, which is not great. That would be where we would lose the game if someone pushes space. But we would probably try and knowledge and defense and just use like removal. Congress of Malastare. If we have the Congress out, our plot, if we plot in the upgrades, that costs 1 less, so that's good. I'm going to cut out Scour the Archives for Heroic. This is to search the top 8 cards of your deck for an upgrade, reveal it, and draw it. With a 30-card deck, drawing 2, we're finding the cards that we need fairly easily. So I think that would be the deck. The main concern here would be, we go hyperspace. The main concern here would be space. So Leia green, watch out for space. And if we feel fairly good after resource turn 4. That's really where we start to thrive, I think, is resource turn 4. Although our resource turn 3 if we have the power droid. So a lot of cool stuff. I love limited. I do wish that I could now take this and play it against somebody, but unfortunately I'm sitting here by myself. But I appreciate y'all hanging out. This was a lot of fun. I haven't done anything like this, and so I figured it would be fun to try and build that limited deck. But I love the deck building, but now I really just want to play it. I want to try it. Nice. Cool. Well, I posted that I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. we're going to be breaking out Hulkling again. So we're going to be playing him against some of the 4 aspects, just a couple more games with him to try and figure out exactly all of his nuance before I dive into the hero review. And I think also tomorrow, after we play a couple times, we're going to be talking about how he thrives, or like what his best aspects and stuff, and talk through some of his aspects. That's a discussion that I want to have because I think he plays really fun in a lot of them. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks all for hanging out. I appreciate you spending some time with me and with Star Wars. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed all the unboxings. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Awesome. Peace.